Why is it that those who are called to a higher purpose often struggle the most with lust? It's a struggle that no one likes to talk about, and yet it's much more common than you think, and the reasons behind are shocking. If you're feeling overwhelmed by it, trust me, you're not alone. In fact, I struggle with that deeply for 10 years of my life. We're talking like I used to watch porn multiple times per day, every day, which ended up destroying relationships and created so much shame and isolation, depression. Like, this was bad. But eventually it led me to create a movement of over 30,000 people struggling with the same thing and bring them all into a school community, which ended up becoming the #1 in the addiction recovery niche. And I've worked with hundreds of men since then to set them free from that. But the reason I'm making this video today is because after working with so many guys, I figured out there are actually 5 most common reasons why this pattern is there, right? So the people who have the highest potential, who have a deep calling, like a big purpose. On the flip side, the duality of life, right? There's always this contrast, yin and yang. On the flip side, it's the guys who struggle the most. So here are 5 reasons why lust is the hardest to overcome for the chosen ones. Reason number 1, lust is never the problem. It's actually a symptom of a deeper problem, which is unexpressed creative potential. Let me explain what I mean by that. Lust, you can also call it repressed sexual energy. Sexual energy has the power to create life. Sexual energy is the reason why you and I are alive right now in this human form. Our parents had sex. Matter of fact, one might say it's even the most powerful creative energy in this world. So what happens is when someone is chosen for greatness, they have all this potential to create it, to create change into this world, to be the creator of their lives and create movements and lead. And when that energy is not expressed to its fullest potential, it needs to find a way to go out. And very often, because it's the most effortless way, because the most frictionless way, it ends up being lust. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Stay with me. Reason number 2, lust is a cheap reflection of the deepest masculine desire, which is freedom, liberation, release. Think about it. Whenever you ask a masculine man, right, building a business or whatever it is that they're doing, why are you doing it? Man, you know, it's about freedom. It's about freedom. It's so common. And if you're watching this video right now, you probably feel that inside of you as well. There's this deep drive we've been gifted with by God, which is to strive for liberation, release. That word, freedom, it means so much to us. Well, guess what? How does an orgasm feel? Isn't it one of the deepest physical releases a man can experience? What about emotionally, right? You have this tension building up, you have all these thoughts, and you're just like, I want to break free from that, I want to break free from that. Right? That's why men tend to struggle with it more. But listen carefully to what I'm about to say. It's never about the pixels on the screen. It's never about the actual hand movement on your body. It's the meaning you associate to it. We don't experience life. We experience the life we interpret in our psyche. We experience the life that we filter through our senses. By definition, the only reason you experience that because of little colors on a screen coming together, which are pixels, because of a lifeless video, is because of the meaning you associate to it. And if we go even deeper, if we talk about the actual act of jerking off, then I'm gonna give you an extreme example that will really paint a picture here. Let's say someone was to give you a pill that makes you hard, and then in a public place in front of all your family and everyone you've ever known in your life, someone does it for you who you don't want them to touch you at all. Will the experience actually be relieving? Will it be a release? Of course not. Well, for most people, maybe, I don't know, some people have some kinks, which is okay, but meaning whatever, like 99.9% of people watching this, it won't be a relieving experience. Therefore, the only reason it's relieving, even on a physical level, it's because of what you associate to it. You can completely reprogram the association you have to it and make it irrelevant in your life. This is just so important for me to tell everyone. It's actually how I helped all of these guys break free. Now, reason number 3 is a pretty interesting one, is lust is also a cheap reflection of the deepest feminine desire, which is the flow of love, or said differently, intimacy. Now, the thing is, we all have our masculine side and feminine side. Sure, most of us are either more on one side or on the other. On average, men tend to be more on the masculine side, no shit, but this is all on average. We all have both anyway, so we all have this deep need for intimacy, for love. And what happens is, very often, since sex is so taboo and it's so hidden, it's the shadow of humanity that I call it, then we all still experience it though. We all still experience these sexual desires, and now we're afraid of how other people will judge us if they know about it. And so that's when we go into this dark world and we feel loved again. Just a projection, it's not real, it's these pixels on the screen, but it feels real at least. And we experience this deep acceptance and love for exactly who we are, even in our most shameful and darkest fantasies. I've been there, trust me. That's how, the reason I can share all of this with you is because I've experienced it, and I've understood that at the core of my addiction was a desire for liberation, release, and the desire for intimacy. Again, all mental though. You can absolutely change these beliefs. You weren't born with these beliefs. You have the gift as a human being to change them, and that's when you truly break free. Not with blockers, not with all that superficial bullshit that I call plaster solutions. It's by going to the root cause and fucking ripping it away. That's how corn and even jerking out becomes irrelevant. Now, reason number 4 is pretty interesting. Their nervous system, the chosen ones, the people who have great potential, are built for intensity. You know how some people tend to always be more intense than others? I fucking relate. It's just everything is just more intense. Life is more deeply experienced. You have higher emotions, but also lower emotions, and you have all this energy and this passion for life, this juice for life. We can all think of some people, maybe you're that person. I definitely am. And so with people that their nervous system is built for intensity, guess what one of the most intense experiences of life is? Lust, sex. It's so intense. There's so much. It's such an adventure. There's so much novelty and juice. Again, it's a story that we associate to it, and I'm very aware of that. But by default, if you look at the average, that's still how most people experience it, which is why it's much easier to slip into it by default. But guess what? You don't need to eliminate, again, your intense nervous system. That's such a gift. Such a gift as a performer, as a communicator in relationships, like as a leader. It can be such a gift. But there's also the downsides. Now, the best thing about being human is you can keep the upsides, but of course, it also has its downsides. Now, the beautiful thing is you can reprogram, again, what you associate to lust, sex, and all that stuff, so that that intensity is actually channeled into the areas that you want, and all of that area of life becomes irrelevant or healthy or balanced or grounded, because you don't want to eliminate sex overall. No, trust me, this is not what I'm saying. But you do want to have a healthy relationship with it. And sometimes a healthy relationship is with more presence, right? More awareness, a bit less unintegrated intensity. You want to be able to intentionally let that intensity out, let's say in a passionate, loving relationship. Of course, remember, it's a blessing in disguise. It might feel like a curse right now, but it is actually your greatest gift. You just need to do the work, and that's okay. It's part of the beautiful journey of life. You wouldn't want a life without challenges anyways, because that would be boring. And last but not least, step number 5. Because chosen ones have high standards, and high standards often come with a downside, which is shame, when you don't meet these high standards. And shame, I call it personally the deadly cycle of shame, is the number one reason behind addiction. Shame is literally a downward spiral that helps no one. Since God still created shame, it means there's a purpose for it. The problem is a lot of people stay in shame way too long. Shame might be this signal that can be like, okay, these are your standards, you're not meeting your standards, either you lower your standards, which good luck, or you level up to your standards. That's okay. But as soon as you've had that signal, ideally we would let it go, right? The problem is a lot of people, including me for years, and I'm still working on it, of course, tend to just like stay in shame for a long time. And that doesn't help anyone. Matter of fact, if you care about love, if you care about safety, if you care about good, then shame is all the opposite of that. Very often people in the state of shame end up making decisions that they wouldn't have made if they were in a state of love. Of course, we all have all of these states, right? It's not like, you cannot say a person is good or evil, like the whole person. No, they've all done things that you can consider as good and things you can consider as bad. It's just this current state we're in. We are not our patterns. So what happens is when you are in a state of shame, that means you believe you are a shameful person. And what does a shameful person do? A shameful person takes shameful action. That's literally how it works. Plus, since corn and lust and all that is a coping mechanism for difficult emotions, again, you remember you want to escape stuff, you want to release from suffering. And so the more shame you have, which is one of the most hellish emotions out there, it's hell. Like shame is basically hell. It's one of the most difficult emotions. The more you would want to escape it, and you've learned that the easiest, more effortless way to escape it is through lust. And so it's a cycle, but then you go into lust and then you have even more shame. So guys, heal, okay? Heal, meaning it's okay to cry. It's okay to do deep inner work. It's okay to take care of how you feel. You deserve feeling love. You deserve taking a break. You deserve exploring what's happening inside of you. You deserve crying. It doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you stronger by definition. Why? Because most men are afraid to cry. Most men are afraid to ask for help. Most men are afraid to heal. So, guess what? The people who do it are the people who have the courage. Isn't that what you want as a man? You want courage. So if every man is afraid of this and you do it, then you have courage. Then you're a bold man. That by definition means you are stronger. Like, do you fucking get it? Because by healing and truly experiencing unconditional self-love, which is the fucking most important aim for all of us. It's an aim because, again, good luck experiencing unconditional love at all times. We're all human. We all go through ups and downs, and that's okay. And paradoxically, by you accepting these ups and downs, you actually love yourself even more. That's for another video. But unconditional love is the highest aim we could all aim for. And when your high standards meet with love, oh my God, guys. Like, I know some of you guys listening to this right now, and this is my prayer, you're literally chosen for greatness. Like, it's not even an exaggeration. And I know you know who you are by listening to this. You feel that. So you meet high standards with love. Oh my God. The world is not ready for it. I love you guys. I love you. Appreciate you for being here. Grateful to be able to share that and live a meaningful life. And you guys receiving that. So much love. I'll see you guys here soon. Peace.